recap of the game today. What was your guys' game plan going in against Indiana Tech, and how do you feel like you executed today?
Well, our game plan going in was playing our usual style of defense, pressing and playing our matchup zone, and they did a really good job early on, and we, as a coaching staff, kind of thought, hey, we might have to adjust here, and so we were kind of planning on possibly switching a man at some point, and it was just a little bit earlier than what we had expected. But I was really pleased with our kids, their ability to adapt, and their confidence to knock down shots. That was a huge part in that first half.
You did fall into a bit of an early hole. Was this a good chance for you guys to at least face a little bit of adversity, kind of get tested for maybe something down the road?
Well, we've faced a lot of adversity throughout the year. The Cardinals-Church game yesterday was a little bit tougher than we imagined. But I also just feel like being in the GPAC, we've had some really tough games, and this group is a tough group. They're confident. They really believe in each other, and so they're never going to get worried that we're down 6-0 early in the game. So they believe in themselves.
What's the thought kind of now being back in back-to-back Final Four games?
It feels pretty good. I mean, I think it sets the standard for our program. The fact that this is, Jake, you knows, 4 out of 5 years that we've been in the Final Four. We just kind of expect it, and it's kind of where the bar has been set, and our kids continue to live up to it.
You mentioned, switching things up earlier. Was it probably about 20 or 30 minutes earlier than you wanted to there?
Yeah, a little bit earlier than that. It was just one of those things where we're watching the scouting report thinking, maybe we're going to be a little bit better playing man against these guys, even though we'd never practice it. But we just felt like, hey, we can go against these guys and keep them in front of us. But they're such good shooters that in that zone, eventually they're going to kind of pick us apart. But like I said, our kids did a nice job of adapting.
What defense were you expecting? Because it was kind of hard to know what defense to expect because she changes up defenses for kind of each matchup that she's playing. Was it kind of hard to know what defense to expect there?
We expected them to play man. That's what we feel like they've done most of the time, and so that's what we had prepared for.
And some of these questions will be for Barry for his preview for semifinals. But like I said, 4 out of 5 semifinals. Getting as far as you have the last few years. I don't want to say does the team kind of, I don't want to say expect it, but it's one of those things that's the goal: get this far, make the deep run every year, end up in this deep.
Absolutely. I mean, that's where we're at this point in our program. When you've made it 4 out of 5 years, you expect it, and our kids, they come to this program wanting to be in that kind of a pressure situation, and our kids handle it really well. Just really excited for them and happy for them.
This team's been so good the last 5 years. Was there anything different about this team, or is this kind of the same mentality for this team? Like, defense, everyone sharing the ball, but is it just kind of that same thing, or is there something a little special about this team?
Well, every team is unique. Every team, each season, it's just a little different dynamic, and I love all the teams that we've had. I've been blessed to be able to coach, and this year is no different. These guys they're awesome. They're special. They love each other. We're a little bit different in the fact that we have more kids that can attack and kind of play one-on-one. But I do think that every team has been really special.
I'm going to ask this one without knowing what happens the 8 o'clock game, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If it's you versus Northwestern, there's been a lot of dogfights in the GPAC for your team this year, but you guys versus Northwestern, those 2 games have been classics this year. So
yeah, I mean, and no offense to Ozarks, but we kind of expect it.
Yeah, this is if they win.
Yeah, the GPAC's great, and we know that Northwestern's an awesome team, so we kind of expect that battle. We'll be really excited for it.
Yeah, it's on until Monday, so I forgot to throw that out. Anything else you want to?
No, that's good.
And another question for you. You bringing up College of the Ozarks is another familiar team with to your teams. So what? If it is you versus College of the Ozarks, what do you expect from a game like that?
Well, they're 2 totally different teams. That's kind of the interesting thing about that game tonight. That Ozarks is all perimeter oriented, lots of great shooters. Northwestern has good shooters too, but they've got some dominant posts, and so each one kind of possesses some different challenges for us. But we're just excited to be there.